Hi.
Welcome to our 4th week working on your counseling for anxiety. How are you doing this week?
I'm okay. I've been having really a lot of feelings of anxiety this
Okay.
past week.
Okay, a lot of feelings.
Yes.
Did you fill out your Understand Your Reactions worksheet?
I did.
Okay. How about you tell me some of the experiences you were feeling with the anxiety?
One of the experiences I was having was when I was given a presentation for a project and from a class.
Okay.
I was feeling really anxious and scared. And it was like I kind of like froze when I was giving the presentation, and like I tripped over my words, and I was just like, you could tell I was really nervous.
Okay. How were your thoughts during that time?
I thought I would fail my project and everyone would be judging me.
Okay. Did you have, how were your behaviors when you were giving that presentation? So I know you were stumbling over your words. Did anything else happen?
I had sweaty palms. There was trembling throughout my body. It was also like my body was very tense and my hands were shaking.
Okay, so those were some of your physical reactions during that time. Did you have any other instances of anxiety this week?
Yeah, when I was driving on the highway with my friend last week, I was very anxious.
Okay.
I was also like very scared and like uneasy.
Okay.
And I was also like very panicky. Like my friend could tell I was like freaking out.
So she was even able to tell?
Yeah.
So how would you rate your anxiety when you were in that situation?
Probably like a 9 or a 10.
Okay, so it was very high.
Yes.
Okay. What were some of your behaviors when you were experiencing that?
I came to a fast stop on the highway when I was merging on, which made me more anxious when I got on, like officially got on the highway. So I had to pull over and calm myself down.
Oh, okay. So were you able to calm yourself down, or were you still anxious after you pulled over?
I was still anxious, but was definitely like lower. But I was still like, it was pretty high. It was like from like a 9 to like a 7. So it wasn't a big difference, but
okay,
I was able to get to the destination.
Good. So did you do any techniques during that time to help you calm down, or you just took the time?
I just took the time and I was talking to my friend about like just random stuff.
Okay, so that helped. Okay. And what were your thoughts going on at that time?
I thought I was thinking of a car accident, and since my friend was in the car, I thought like she was gonna die if we had a car accident. So that made me like really scared. Okay,
so some negative thoughts were definitely occurring during that experience for you. Okay, so those are definitely some things we can work on today. It's great that you filled that out. It's definitely a place where we can start. So one thing I think we should work on is some deep breathing techniques. So I know when you pulled over to the side of the road, you took some time and were talking to your friend, but if your friend wasn't there, maybe this could be a way that you could calm yourself down if you end up being in a situation like that again. Okay? So have you ever done any deep breathing before?
No, I have not.
Okay. So what we want to do is we're just going to breathe in deep for 5 seconds, hold it, and then breathe back out for 5 more seconds.
Okay.
And then when we're doing this technique, I really want you to focus on the feeling of the air entering your lungs, and leaving your lungs. And we're going to do this about 3 to 4 times, just so you can understand what the intervention is. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So let's breathe in and okay. We're going to do that one more time. Ready? And make sure you're taking really big breaths when you're doing this. You really want that air to come up into your lungs and you want it to leave out. So taking deep, big breaths.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do it one more time. Okay, and deep breathe in. Okay. So how did you feel when you were doing that?
I was feeling very relaxed and I'm very calm right now.
Okay, good. Any thoughts going on in your head when you were doing the deep breathing?
At first I thought it was kind of stupid, but it's probably because I was just not used to it. So maybe give it time.
Okay. Well, that's something that, you know, you can try. If it doesn't work for you, we can maybe move on to a different intervention next week. But something I would definitely give a try, especially if you're in a situation where there aren't other people present. So do you think that you would consider using this if you were feeling anxious?
Yes, it's definitely when I'm driving, I feel like it would be very handy.
Okay. Well, that's really good to know. So that's one intervention we're going to talk about. So another intervention that I thought might be helpful for you is some mindfulness. Have you ever done any sort of mindfulness before?
No, what's that?
So mindfulness is kind of just a technique that helps you feel really present in the moment, and it's going to help you feel grounded. So if you're feeling anxious and you're really inside your head and your thoughts just keep running, you can kind of use this technique to make you feel a little bit more present and in your environment, okay? So I want you to think of a place that you feel really, really comfortable. Is there anything that you enjoy doing or someplace you enjoy being?
The beach.
Okay, the beach. So what I want you to do is we're going to have you, in a second, close your eyes, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about how you feel at the beach, what you're experiencing, just kind of the sensations around you. And this technique is really just going to help you feel more grounded and present in your environment, okay? All right, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. All right, so picture yourself sitting at the beach, and can you tell me, what do you see?
I see kids playing in the sand and people in the water.
Okay. Can you tell me how the ground feels beneath your feet?
The ground feels like grains and very hot, and I feel the sand like on my feet.
Are there any sounds that you're hearing while you're at the beach?
I hear the ocean, some music, and people talking.
Okay. How are you feeling in this present moment?
I feel happy, calm, and just more presence.
Okay. And any thoughts going on in your head right now?
I feel that I'm really enjoying it being here.
Okay. And how is your body feeling right now? Just give me some descriptions of your body.
My body's feeling really relaxed.
Mhm.
It's not tense at all,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no physical symptoms of anxiety.
Okay. Well, that's great. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes back up. All right. How did that make you feel?
Really relaxed.
That's good. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. Did you feel like you were actually in that moment? Could you picture yourself being at the beach?
I just started hearing the ocean.
Okay, that's good. So you were hearing the ocean. And do you think that's a technique that you will be using going forward if you're having a situation of anxiety?
100%.
Okay, cool. All right. Another thing that I could recommend for you doing is maybe if you're at the beach one day and you want to bottle up some sand, you can even take that sand with you. And if you're feeling, anxious or you're having some experience of anxiety, if you have that sand with you, you can kind of hold it and it can help ground you and bring you back into that moment.
I didn't think of that. That's a great idea.
Even a seashell or a rock or something that makes you just remember the beach could help.
Okay, and I definitely get a trip out of the beach.
Yeah, that's definitely a good plan. So how do you think overall this session went for you?
I think this session went pretty well, but overall, from the beginning of when we started, I feel like I don't know when to use these techniques, in situations. So I think maybe we can brainstorm some ideas.
Yeah, definitely. So what I would say is you have to be aware of how your body is feeling and any thoughts that you're having in your mind. So if you find yourself in a situation where the thoughts are, your mind starts racing and you can sense your body changing, maybe your sweating, or you start shaking a little bit, or your heart's racing, some physical reactions that you mentioned earlier. So you kind of have to be aware of those things that are going on. And then when that starts to happen, you can start using your deep breathing techniques, your mindfulness techniques. Maybe you can pull out some of those items from the beach that you collected and just help to ground yourself a little bit. So, and that's what I would recommend in ways that you should start using these techniques if you're in a situation. So if you're in a situation where you're starting to notice some signs of anxiety, how would you start to confront that problem?
Honestly, I don't really know how to confront it, but usually if I start feeling anxious, I try to distract myself. So I usually carry like a rubber band and I just like distract myself with that. Or like if I'm like in class or in public, I would just try to think more positive thoughts, which is very hard. And that's really usually what I do.
So that's some good ways that you've used so far that have helped you. But now I think we can use the techniques and the interventions that we talked about in this session to kind of add to what you already have. So you have the tools when you're feeling those anxious thoughts or anxious feelings, that you can kind of use those mindfulness techniques, those relaxation techniques. You can pull out the objects from the beach if you're feeling, you're anxious. If you're feeling kind of anxious, and you can use those in addition to what you're already doing to kind of help confront your issue with anxiety. So how do you feel about that?
I feel that, well, I haven't used the techniques yet in the situation, but I feel more confident that I can be able to handle it when it comes up. But at the same time, like there's some times like I can't use mindfulness in like a classroom or something like that, or like deep breathing in front of like the presentation.
Okay.
So maybe we can come up with more techniques of how to do it for like those situations in public.
Right.
So be less noticeable because I don't really want anyone to notice me.
Right.
Just like trying to calm myself down because it's very awkward.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Even trying to calm yourself down in front of a public situation can even make you feel more anxious because you don't want people to recognize that. So I think the technique that we talked about with the objects can kind of be helpful because it's something small and you can carry it in your pocket, or if you have like a seashell in your pocket or something like that, you don't have to necessarily bring your mind all the way to that place, but it can just help to ground you. It's just a slight motion to like get yourself back into your body, and so you're not constantly having those thoughts racing your head.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so some goals that I want you to focus on for next week are really implementing those mindfulness and relaxation techniques. So if you're having an experience of anxiety, just try to put yourself back and at the beach, maybe close your eyes for a few minutes and do some of the questions in your head. Also, if you're in the car, you can even try doing some deep breathing if you are experiencing some anxiety.
Okay.
So some homework. I also think we should do another one of the, I think you have the worksheet.
Yeah.
Yes, the understanding your reactions worksheet. So I'm going to give you another one after this session so we can focus on that again next week, because I think that was really helpful for you to write down when you were feeling the anxiety, and it kind of made you aware of how many times and your experiences during that anxiety. You think that would be helpful for you?
Yeah, I think it'd be really helpful because now looking back on it, I can tell that I get anxious a lot.
Okay. So, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I was wondering if some of the techniques that we're practicing over the next week doesn't work, can we do like more if we can find some more?
Yeah, definitely. I know you're a little unsure about the deep breathing techniques because you've never tried it. I want you to take this week, try doing the deep breathing, and if it doesn't work for you, we can definitely, next week we can focus on another technique that might be a little bit helpful.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so I will see you next week. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.